Joining me now, Pradeep Gupta, Chairperson and MD of Axis My India, Yashwant Deshmukh, Founder Director of Sea Voter, Amitabh Tiwari of political strategist and commentator. Appreciate all three of you joining us here on the show. I'm going to give you 5 X factors and we're going to go almost in T20 style through each of them. Kaun jeetega Bihar? Let's turn to the first X factor. Will the NDA's cash benefit transfers for women and youth be a game changer? The new MY, Mahila and Yuva. Let's go to you, Pradeep Gupta. Do you believe that cash transfers will be a game changer as they were in Maharashtra and indeed in Madhya Pradesh last year and the year before that?
It will definitely impact the outcome of the election.
When you say that, are you saying therefore that Mahila in particular and Yuva are influenced by the fact that the government, the NDA, is giving them cash benefits? Have we reached a stage where this becomes the key game changer? Is this now a new template, Pradeep?
See, of course, template is being played in the past 2 years, particularly we have seen and witnessed that. But in case of Bihar, one very important and interesting point when it comes to the female voters, particularly, you know why? The 5 to 7 percentage points, I'm emphasizing on this, women votes more than male because the simple reason is their male member is outside the state for their livelihood, and then in this case actually it is playing out 45 versus 55, 45 versus 55. So women voter is far more important in case of Bihar, and sending 10,000 rupees at this eve of the election will definitely play some role.
It may play some role, may play a major role. What do you think, Yashwant Deshmukh? Is this the X factor, the fact that Mahilas, more than 1 crore women are getting 10,000 rupees one-time payment by the NDA government? Will this become, like in Maharashtra, a game changer?
This will be the factor, Rajdeep, in this Bihar election, and not because of Maharashtra or Madhya Pradesh or Jharkhand or any other example of the Mahila voter that we have seen in the recent past. There is a one big, huge difference between Eknath Shinde, Shivraj Singh Chauhan, or Hemant Soren, or any other chief minister trying to do a one-time payment, one-time thing kind of thing with for a female voter and trying to get away with their votes, because Nitish Kumar is personal history of running schemes. Nitish Kumar's personal history of running schemes for female voters is way too different from all other chief minister, Rajdeep. 25 years back, he started the cycle, free Poshak scheme for the girl child of Bihar. Those kids, those girls who were 25 years given Poshak and cycle are now mothers, homemakers, entrepreneurs in Bihar. The same girls have been given 10,000 bucks and again being given, and many of them will be given 2 lakh rupees in the coming years, for entrepreneurship and everything in between. This is way too different. His emotional connect with those female voters has been reignited.
That's a very interesting point, Yashwant, you're making. The girls who got cycles 20 years ago are now adults and they continue to benefit. They are now Jivika Didis, they continue to benefit. But that brings me to my second X factor, Amitabh Tiwari, which is Nitish Kumar himself. Will he prove an asset or a liability to NDA? In 2020, his vote shrunk. He only won 43 seats. Is Nitish Kumar 20 years into power an asset or a liability? Does he bring a clear vote bank and thereby becomes an asset, or anti-incumbency makes him a liability, Amitabh Tiwari?
Rajdeep ji, the basic accounting equation says assets is equal to liabilities plus capital. So any asset is a liability as well. The degree or the extent matters. In terms of assets, he brings the 12% to 15% core vote block of Kurmi Koiri OBCs and the loyal woman vote bank. He is not seen as unpopular. He has a good image, a non-corruptible image, and his last election could gain him some sympathy votes. However, the lack of industrialization in the state and lack of creation of jobs is the biggest weakness of his 20-year government. And in the last two tenors, when he has shifted from NDA to Mahagatbandhan and then back to NDA, people do see him as being busy in saving his chair rather than doing significant development work. So that's his weakness in that sense.
Right. But if I may then add, and this is the third X factor, Amitabh, which is linked to that, who wins the crucial EBC vote? Extremely backward caste. 26% Hindu EBCs, 10% Muslim EBCs. Now they seem to have, over the last few elections, generally gone with the NDA, particularly when Nitish is with the NDA. So do they go this time to NDA or Mahagatbandhan? Because Rahul Gandhi and Tejasvi Yadav are also targeting them. Could this be the key vote bank? Quite apart from the Mahila factor, the EBC factor.
Yeah, so if you see the EBC vote, 26%, 45% went to NDA and 35% to Mahagatbandhan in the 2020 election. Now, this group has 113 subcastes. There is little bargaining power of this group because there's not a single leader caste-wise of this group. And they see Nitish Kumar as the leader because he brought in the reservation in the panchayats and the local bodies for EBCs. There is also a trust deficit of EBCs with the Mahagatbandhan because the OBC and EBC joined together to dislodge the upper caste-led government of the Congress, but later the Yadav community pocketed most of the powerful positions, which led to the rebellion of the EBCs in 2005, voting for the Mahagatbandhan. Also, EBCs, a lot of EBCs are very small businessmen or self-employed people, the Vishwakarma Samaj, and for them law and order is a big issue. So the reach out to the EBCs by the Congress, I think, is very late in that sense. However, they need a representation. Both NDA and Mahagatbandhan give lesser number of tickets to EBCs than their population. So if the Mahagatbandhan gives a lot of tickets, they could be in a position to woo some of the sections of the EBCs, largely the educated and the youth EBCs. And there's also 52 seats where
brings me to my fourth X factor, Pradeep Gupta. Can the Mahagatbandhan go beyond its Yadav Muslim core vote? All the polls we are seeing, Pradeep Gupta, show Tejasvi Yadav is the preferred choice for Chief Minister. But we've seen in recent elections that it's a struggle for them to go beyond their core vote. How do they increase that? Particularly because their allies, especially the Congress, is seen by many as a kamzor kadi or a weakling. Unless the Congress pulls its weight, do you see Tejasvi Yadav being able to grow beyond a Yadav Muslim combine? Can he do what we saw Akhilesh Yadav do in UP last year by creating his broader alliance? Is that possible?
So Rajdeep, yes, what you are saying is absolutely right, because unless Mahagatbandhan as a whole, as a bloc, unless they get votes of beyond Muslim and Yadav, they are unlikely to win, which is the case in past 3-4 elections. And that is the precisely reason why in 2015 we have seen that the Gadbandhan, that time Nitish Kumar was this side, and they won the landslide victory in 2015, both Nitish Lalu Gadbandhan. But what is the next block? The next block is about 17 to 19% of Dalits, which is very important and significant in that sense. Whichever way the Dalit will vote in the majority numbers is likely to win. It is very simple. But within Dalit also, there are 3 categories. One is the Paswans, which is about 5%. The second thing is the Jata votes. We call them Jata votes, the Mochi votes, which is about another 5 to 6%. And rest is the other Dalits other than these 2 blocks. So this is very important this time, in particular, unless Mahagatbandhan is able to get the lion's share of this 17% of the vote, it is unlikely they are going to win.
Interesting. You believe, therefore, the Dalit vote is critical. Who wins that Dalit vote? Remember, Chirag Paswan, Jitin Ram Majhi, all with the NDA this time, but the Mahagatbandhan also trying to target that Dalit vote, which brings me to my fifth X factor. I'm going to get all of you to comment on it. Quick comments. Yashwant Deshmukh, starting with you. Will Prashant Kishore emerge as a third force? Can he become the spoiler? Can he become a kingmaker? How do you see the Prashant Kishore factor play out in a state which has been a duopoly between Nitish Kumar and Lalu Prasad?
Well, Rajdeep, he has already emerged as the third force in Bihar. I mean, as far as the traction and the narrative is concerned, you see the majority of the noise on the issues and everything has been made largely by Prashant Kishore only. So he has already emerged as the third factor. How much electorally
But can he
speaking he is
convert
going
that
to
into
impact?
votes, Yashwant? Sorry, can he
Yeah,
convert?
that's
Can he
what the
convert
biggest question.
visibility and noise into votes?
Absolutely, that's the critical question, and that is where I have my doubts. Simply because Bihar is not Delhi, it is still driven by largely the caste arithmetics and social combinations in place. Can Prashant Kishore cut through that? Can he actually demolish that? Can he actually appeal to big number of youth voters who may be caste agnostic in their way? So that is something which is untested. If he manages to do even slightly over there, it would be historic. I cannot give any number, Rajdeep, because first of all, in a first past the post system, whenever a fresh party, new party comes in, to gauge their vote share and convert that vote
Right.
into a seat is virtually impossible. Anybody tries that, good luck to them. We know it is not possible. Scientifically, it's not possible. Second thing, that how much is he doing
Okay.
only one time politics of 2024 or 25, or is he focusing on 2030? That is the biggest game. My feeling is, what I understand, he is playing for 2030 as well. By that time, if he sustains, he will certainly become at some point of time the third factor in Bihar.
Pradeep Gupta, what's your sense? You're smiling. Prashant Kishore, could he be the X factor in this election? And what is that percentage of vote you think he needs to cross to actually become a player?
See, in a triangle contest, if at all it is, definitely he has to exceed the 35%, 33 to 35% of the vote to get going. But which is very unlikely in the first election itself. But I am coming to the very important point, as you asked later on, which is whose vote he is going to cut. So there are two constituencies, which is, you can say that he's doing good at this point of time. One is that youth. Now, if you see the youth as a constituency, then he's likely to cut the vote of Tejasvi Yadav, because on the NDA, no youth is there. In fact, in case of Mahagatbandhan, at least you can say that Rahul Gandhi is there, Tejasvi Prasad Yadav is there, and all that. He himself being a youth, the
Right.
Prashant Kishore. So in that sense, he's likely to get some vote of youth, which is coming largely on the account of Tejasvi Yadav. The second thing is that he himself belonging to the upper caste, which is he himself is a Brahman. In this case, the upper caste vote generally gets skewed towards the NDA. In that case, he's likely to get some vote from the NDA, this thing. So whatever vote he gets, he's 100%.
Okay.
What that 100% will be, we don't know. But whatever that 100% of his vote is coming from largely from the youth and from the upper caste of the society, unless Muslims get shift
So
in the bulk.
I have just 30 seconds. I'm going to ask each of you 10 seconds each to predict. Amitabh Tiwari, predict what's most likely to happen in Bihar.
No, see, I mean, it's a close contest with a slight edge to NDA because of the cash schemes which they have announced and the social bloc which they have. And also, Prashant Kishore is largely going to spoil the prospects
Okay,
of.
close contest with an edge to NDA is what you're saying. Yashwant Deshmukh, what's your prediction as at the start of the race?
Well, if they manage to win again, it will be only because of the traction of among the female voters and connect of female voters of Nitish Kumar. If they are unable to win, largely it will be because of the upper caste consolidation and other youth consolidation for Prashant Kishore. I mean, if that backfires for the NDA, they might lose.
Right. Okay, let me give the final word to you, Pradeep Gupta. Now you have to predict. No smiling anymore. Give me a number or or at least give me the direction. Direction.
Rajdeep, I does not have any kind of number or prediction whatsoever, but all I can tell you is this. In Bihar, particularly assembly election, we have seen in last 3 to 5 assembly elections, the others, apart from voters voting for these two alliances, in the excess of 20% for sure. Sometimes it is 25%, sometimes it is 27%. So this 25 to 27% plus another 10 to 15%. There are about 35 to 40% floating voter this time in Bihar. Even they doesn't know whom to vote at this point of time. So I keep my
Okay, Pradeep Gupta, by using, you are putting your money in your pocket. You are playing safe, as we all are. As we can sense, Bihar can always throw up surprises. So pollsters are also playing safe. We'll wait and see what happens in the Battle of Bihar. But good to have all three of you on the show tonight. Thank you very much for joining me.